Hey guys, what is up? The NeoCubist here. Welcome to my tutorial on an underwater shipwreck house. This build is actually fairly simple to do. I explain how to texture the entire outside. I give some inspiration at the end of the video, and it's a really cool build to do. It's really unique to live in. It's got everything you could ever need to live, and a full enchantment table underground. So yeah, let's get started on the build. Alright, so these are the materials you're going to need for the outside of your shipwreck build tutorial, and essentially all you're going to do is find a flat place underwater. Typically, the oceans have flat floors, and they're just nice to build on. So we're going to start off by placing 3 oak wood blocks in a row, and then we are going to do 2, and then we're going to do 3, and keep in mind these are from the diagonal corners, so 2 again, and then 3, and then we're going to do 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then just fill that in. And then on the back you're going to do 1 diagonal, and then you're just going to round it off like that with 4 blocks. Then you're going to do 1 diagonal, and then again 6 like that. I went too far over. Sorry, it's only 4 blocks on the back. My bad. I just, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Everything is connected. Sorry about that on the back. It's 1, 2, 3 blocks. Not 4, not 5. It is 3 blocks total. Alright, perfect. So this glowstone is just here so that you guys can sort of see what I'm doing underwater, because it's a little bit tricky to build underwater. And honestly, you don't want to be under here if there's nothing to see, because there's no point. The next step is going to be messying it up. So again, this isn't a block by block tutorial, but that's just because this style of building is almost impossible to show block by block. But essentially what I'm going to do here is I'm going to lay out an area where I want the actual house to be. So I'm going to think about it being like right here, right? And we can do an entrance. Let's just say the entrance is going to be right here. So we'll just place the door there just for now. And then we'll just sort of block everything off, and that's where the door is going to be. Let's actually make it 1 off center, because sometimes off center building can make things just look a little bit, like crazier, because this is one of those builds where things are going to get a little bit crazy. We'll put it that way. What I like to do is I like to start off and just build these little support beams over, and that makes it seem like the ship was, like there was support in it at one point, but it broke. And then, you just sort of, stuff has fallen, it's broken, some planks have turned sort of moldy from being underwater. And we're just doing some spruce now, and we're just sort of building some random shapes. Now, keep in mind, it's not 100% important, not 100% important, that doesn't even make sense. It's not like dire that you do this exactly as I'm doing it. You just want to sort of play around with it and see what you can make look good. But understand that every build is going to be different. There's going to be some things that are just, weird. And you just have to work through them. But I have full faith that you guys will be able to complete this. You just sort of have to make it look messy. You have to texture the outside. You have to, add some spruce here and there. Maybe there's 2 spruce in a row right there. There's a bunch right there. And then anywhere you think you might need some spruce, just put it there. Now, as far as this goes for the outside of the build, what I would recommend doing first is actually building the shape of the house. And keep in mind, I removed those logs there. That's just, we can remove some logs in some places. That's, not going to hurt the build. And essentially, we're going to section out a room here. And this is just going to be, where we live, actually. So it needs to be 3 high. Like, this ceiling is going to have to be 3 high. So we're just going to fill it in. And it's going to look too perfect right now, if that makes sense. It looks like it isn't damaged enough in this state. If you just built it like this, like, I don't know, it's just not damaged enough. So we need to actually make it look damaged. We're going to put some spruce on the outside here. We're just going to sort of break in some areas. We're going to put some spruce. We're going to make it seem like this was being supported right here, but then it came off and it, it fell over or something. And let's go over here. Let's extend this thing up. Let's bring it over. Maybe something like that would look good. A window right there. So you could just break out that and put the window. That would look interesting. On the front of it, this is looking really like flat and weird. So we're just going to make it look, I don't know. We're just going to make it look messed up. That's what you want to do. You want to make this thing just look not horrible necessarily, but you want to make it look like it was in a shipwreck, Like you want to put some planks in the ground or something, maybe break it down 1 block there, maybe break it down next to the door, or break it down some, something like that, and just make it look broken. That's all you really have to do with this build. It's not supposed to be, perfect. It's not supposed to be like, the door is, perfectly in place and there's nothing wrong with it. The door frame is going to be messed up. I mean, obviously it's a little bit messed up, like this was a shipwreck. But after you're done making the outside look textured, you're going to take a sponge. You can use a sponge. If you don't have access to sponges, do not worry. It will work out either way. And as far as lighting goes on the outside, you don't have to put glowstone. If you don't like have access to glowstone, that is perfectly fine. But I'm just going to light up the inside of this just so that when we start building, we can sort of see what's going to mess it up and what isn't. So on the top, as you can see, we have a bunch of examples here. This is the one that Maniac Geek built, and he's a very talented builder. And you can see he just sort of added some things to the outside that just make it look textured. You could put leaves, you could put just logs like this. You can just, you know, I mean, you don't have to keep the frame shape either. Like, that's the thing. The frame shape was just there for guidance, but, you know, at some point, you know, that stuff's got to, like, fall apart, and you want to make it look, you know, random. You don't want to make it look so weird that, like, it totally couldn't have been a ship at some point, but you do want to make sure that it's sort of destroyed. So, like, look, I'll just give you an example. Like, look at this one. I'll hold the glowstone. You guys can kind of tell there's leaves there and everything, but you want to make sure it just looks messed up, and I don't know if I've said that enough yet. I'm kidding. I'm being sarcastic. I know I've said that a lot, but that really is truly like what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make it look like it's just got screwed up, you know? Like, it's just like, dang, like this thing freaking broke. It's an underwater shipwreck. It's not supposed to look very pretty, you know? I mean, it's not going to look like something that you would find in like a high pixel build competition that's like crazy good and like, you know, all these things. And we're just going to put a big window on the top because we can. And, you know, why not? We're going to make this look different. We're just going to bring it over like that. Back of the ship, the bow, we'll just add some stuff, add some spruce, add a little bit of oak on the back. Looks like there's a little bit of spruce missing from here, and you know, just do random stuff. Make the outside of the build look textured. You do not have to make this thing look perfect. It's supposed to be messed up as heck. Like, you want to make sure a lot of things are rounded too, because it is like a ship. So you know, if there's things that, you know, break inside, that's okay. That's why we lit up the inside, so we can sort of like instantly tell when we broke into the build. Right here, like if you want to make that look more rounded, you could definitely do that. I don't know, I think that's good for the outside. I'm not going to do leaves because without shaders the leaves look a little bit weird, but I mean, you know, it's supposed to be a shipwreck. It's not supposed to be pretty, and I think this one looks pretty awesome. So we're going to go inside. I'm going to grab all the materials we're going to need for the inside of this build, and I will be right back. First things first, before I even get started on anything, we're just going to put a stair right there. And then while I'm thinking, we're going to put some furnaces right here. But now let me think about some more things. Now, here's the thing. The inside of every one of these builds is going to be a little bit different. And that's just because of the nature of the build. Like, everything is going to be different. It just depends on how you set everything up. And keep in mind, nothing looks wrong in this. Everything is supposed to be a little bit random. Nothing's supposed to be very uniform. So it'll look good. It'll look good. I promise. Just, I'm going to get all the materials for this right now. And I will come right back. Now, I know some of you are asking, you know, how do you get up and down from the build? Well, honestly, like, if your ocean isn't too deep, you can just sort of swim out and then just sort of float down to it. I know that may be a pain, so you could definitely dig underground and make like an entrance over there if you wanted to, but personally, I like the idea of it being like completely isolated underwater, and like there's no way to get to it unless you actually like legitimately go to it, if that makes sense. Which I think is interesting. We're just putting some trapdoors and some hooks right there. And then up on top, we're going to do a double chest up here. Probably wondering, well, how are you going to do that, Neo? Well, see these two blocks right here? They are definitely solid blocks, okay? They're definitely solid, but we're going to put some upside down stairs, and we're going to see if we can get away with that. How I know that I can get away with it is, do you see these solid blocks on the sides? They aren't emitting anything like if these weren't there and this block wasn't there, it wouldn't allow water to get through, but it would look a little bit weird. So we're just going to put that back, and we're going to put it back wrong, because why not? We're also going to put some chests right here. I'm just going to put the chest right there, just because, you know, it's like a little bit of storage up there. And it looks nice, looks like a little cabinet. We're going to put a ladder right here, so keep that in mind. We're going to take some stone brick. That's what we're going to do for the floor here. So let me find the stone brick. I don't know, I was like looking in here like I was going to find, no, that's mossy. No, not mossy, that's whatever it's called, the monster egg. Honestly, I don't know what that's useful for. I guess building in like a dungeon or something, I could see it being useful, but in most situations I can't see the use in it. We're gonna take some windows and we're just gonna put those throughout the build. You want to just make sure there's you know, a little bit of window everywhere. Some of them, of course, you know, you just can't have windows in some places, but you do want a good amount of windows just so you can sort of see the outside. Like right here, we can't see it, but you can always go to the outside of the build, guys. Keep this in mind and break that, because it doesn't have to be there. And you can put this log there if you wanted to make it look like it was, you know, supposed to be there or something. If you think there's too many right here, you could just do a log right there. I think that's good for the windows on the inside. You're going to need an anvil somewhere in the build, because there's going to be an enchanting table down there. So let's just go ahead and break this area out. And let's grab some glowstone, just so that you guys can see. Let's go ahead and throw that in the offhand. And then let's just, oh, that's the wrong block. Let's go ahead and just place this. And we're going to break out this area. We're going to break out a big enough area for an enchantment table. So just something like this. It does not need to be very big. If you wanted to have an area for chests, you could break it out a little bit more, just like that. And you could honestly, you could make a big, like, underground feature down here if you wanted to. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it just because it's supposed to be like a cozy house or something, right? So it's not supposed to be like huge and extravagant, but it's supposed to feel, you know, somewhat cozy. I mean, that's kind of oxymoronic because you're living in a freaking you're living in a shipwreck. So I don't know if it can get any lower than that. Like you must have like ran out of money in the Minecraft world. You're living in a shipwreck, and I don't know like how, like, you know, that is. I mean, you're living in a freaking shipwreck. But you know, we're just gonna put some bookcases. We're gonna grab some ladders because of course you need to get up and down from here. What am I thinking? And we're gonna put the ladders right there. Can have a little trapdoor if you want to, you know, see like man the hatches, and then you just, you know, you run over here and just like, and then we're gonna enchant stuff. Now again, for storage under here, you could put a stair. I'm gonna go ahead and remove that. I don't like having that in my offhand. That just feels weird. I'm too much of like I'm an old school player, I'll be honest, and like that stuff bothers me. So I'm just placing the stair from the inside, and essentially what that's going to do is, you see, it's gonna allow me. Oop, gravel. It's gonna allow me, you know, the stairs like that, but it's basically. If I haven't said it's going to allow me enough, it is going to allow me to put 2 chests here. And that's always nice. As far as over here goes, like, I'm just breaking this area out because, I don't know, I just kind of wanted to. There's no real rhyme or reason behind that. The wall was supposed to be this, so I don't know why I put that there. Actually, what am I doing? What am I thinking? I'm trying to put oak wood here, and I don't know, I just completely messed up. I didn't put oak wood up there either. You want to make sure... Actually, that doesn't look too half bad. We could take this and we could put that up there, I guess, if you wanted to. Make it look a little bit more advanced, I guess. And you could do the same thing over there. Put another glowstone if you want. I don't even know if that's like breaking to water. Okay, thank God it's not breaking to water. I was gonna say that would kind of suck if we like broke out into the water in here. That would not be too viable. And then over here, no, we're not gonna do that. No, okay, where are the solid oak? I keep grabbing blocks that aren't solid, and I'm like not realizing it. We're just gonna put some anvils down here. We'll put 2, and then an ender chest. And there is one up there, I know, but that's fine. We can have more than one. It's not gonna hurt anything, I promise. So we're gonna come back up here, and you know, there's still a few more things we're gonna need in this build. So you're gonna need a crafting table, you're gonna need a crafting table somewhere. So just find an area in the build that looks good for that. Of course, you're going to need a pot and a blue orchid. You do not want to forget those things. If it's a build that's built by the Neo-Cubist, it's got to have a pot and a blue orchid. That's just required by state, federal mandates. State and federal mandates, not just state mandates. It's required by like 12 different agencies, I promise. We already have the furnaces in the build, but we could add another furnace right there. Of course, since we already have a brewing room in here, you know, water's not going to be a big problem, so we don't need an infinite water source. But we're going to put the cauldron right there next to those. There's some places in this build, honestly, that you're going to want to make seem maybe smaller in a way. Not smaller, but you just want to sort of make it look rounded a little bit. So we're just going to add some stairs in here randomly. We're not really going to have a rhyme or reason behind the stairs, but we're just going to kind of make it look a little bit more rounded in here. Next step I would recommend is doing a carpet. So we're just going to randomly place some wool, and then we're going to put the actual full-size wool blocks in here. That just makes a nice little carpet. I don't like to actually fill it up all the way. Maniac Geek, a builder, taught me about this, and he's very talented, and I think it looks good. But this is basically everything you're going to need to survive underwater. You could have maybe a little wheat farm under. I mean, if you wanted to, you could put a wheat farm under here. It does not really matter. But, you know, I mean, some of those blocks are going to be messed up. But, you know, it's an underwater shipwreck. It's not supposed to look perfect. It's supposed to feel like a home that's in a shipwreck. So if you guys enjoyed this tutorial and you want to see more tutorials like this and more, click that subscribe button. You get notified when I upload. I keep saying slam. Don't slam anything. Just lightly click or tap the post notification button if you'd like. That will just notify you when I am actually, you know, on a build. Or, you know, on that build grind, you'll actually get notified when I upload. I'm just going to fly around here and give you some inspiration, some other houses I've done. And, you know, I'm really appreciating all the support. I think I'm growing again, finally, as a channel, and that's making me really, really happy. It's awesome to see that, like, you know, finally, once again, we are growing as a community. And that's going to lead to a lot of things. It's going to allow me to devote more time to this and create more things for you guys, which I think is nice. I always like to, you know, create things. I like building. I've always have liked building. That's just why I do this. And you know, I plan to not go away ever again for a long time. But that's all beside the point. If you're curious about the shader pack, texture pack, all that stuff is all down below in the description. Leave a like on the video. Let's try to get 1,000 likes in this really cool, unique house. Thank you to whoever told me to do a shipwreck house. I really do appreciate it, and I really do mean, like when I reply to a comment and say I'll see what I can do, I'm actually gonna probably try and build the build. If it doesn't turn out well, I won't record it, but if it does, I do record it, and it turned out well, so I recorded it. And I really appreciate suggestions like that. If you guys want to see anything, leave a comment down below, and I'll be sure to try and see if I can build something that's worth recording. And yeah, with that, I wish you guys a very good day whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.